Welcome everyone to another edition of Making an Impact. I'm your host, Simply Sensational Billy James. Alright, we're back after a week hiatus. I was on vacation and I just didn't have my software that I use to edit these shows and such. But I'm back, and this week I am rocking, in case you can't see it, my Bound for Glory 2012 t-shirt. I went to the theaters to see Bound for Glory 2012, and it was a great pay-per-view. That is where Jeff Hardy defeated Austin Aries for the World Heavyweight Championship, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And I got this t-shirt for free, so that was kind of cool. Anyway, let's get to this week's this week's Impact Wrestling. Awesome show. We have the semifinals of the tag team tournament to determine the number one contenders to the TNA Tag Team Championships, currently held by the Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. Also tonight, it is the rematch that everybody has wanted to see. Bobby Roode once again challenging Bobby Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship with Kurt Angle as the special guest referee. Kenny King and and MVP are banned for ringside. Like I said, we have the semifinals for the number one contendership to the TNA Tag Team titles. We are going to see MVP and Kenny King taking on the team of the X Division champion Samoa Joe and Loki, while the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, will take on EC3 and Tyrus. So, also we have a Knockouts tag team match tonight. The Beautiful People taking on Madison Rayne and Taryn Terrell. So we got a lot of good stuff. So let's get to it without further delay. We had the first match in the semifinals. Samoa Joe and Loki taking on MVP and Kenny King. Good match, back and forth. Started out with Loki and Joe in control. Before the break, MVP and Kenny King got control of the match. Nice working on their opponent. I love the chemistry between Loki and Joe. Several key sweet spots during this match. At one point, Kenny King was able to get a pin on Joe, and Loki broke it up with the Warrior Stomp, which was kind of cool. Another key thing was Joe got a leg bar submission on MVP, but MVP was lucky enough to get to the ropes. At one point, King had Joe snuggled up in the corner and was getting ready. It looked like he was going for a splash or a drop kick, but he got nailed by Loki with his own drop kick. And this is what surprises me, is that after that drop kick, that allowed Samoa Joe to once again try for his rear naked choke. He had tried it earlier in the match and it was broken up by MVP. But this time he was able to get the submission win for his team, and Samoa Joe and Loki advanced. I was kind of surprised. I thought that MVP and King would go over and they would go to the finals, but that was not the case. So Samoa Joe and Loki have been working very well together. The whole concept is that they've been rivals, but they're wanting to prove, hey, we can be a cohesive team and we can be a team to be reckoned with. And this was a good match to prove it. I'd say it went about 10 minutes edited and such. Long commercial break, and I hate long commercial breaks, but nevertheless, great match. You should check it out. Hey, but don't put MVP and King down. We can see this tag team somewhere down the road as TNA Tag Team champions. So you never know, but it's a good match. You need to check it out, and I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed if you check it out. We had Bram and Magnus come out to the ring, and Bram talking about how he is the new king of hardcore, how he's beaten Abyss several times, and he beat Devon last week. They go to talk about and Magnus comes in and talks about you got all these part-timers coming in and newcomers. It doesn't matter who they are; they're going to break the glass ceiling. And that nothing and no one's going to stand in their way, and that they are going to be the new measuring stick. Bram goes on to comment, if Magnus had been this brutal, can you imagine what his title reign had been? It's TNA World Heavyweight Championship title reign. On cue, Devon comes out, tells him to shut the hell up, and that makes it clear that Bram stuck his nose in his business. Then, when they had a match, his boy, and he almost had him beat, his boy Magnus interferes. He says, well, tonight I got a friend and we're going to put you guys in your place. Who is Devon's friend? The innovator of violence, Tommy Dreamer. And of course we have them going at it. It looks for a minute that Bram and Magnus is going to have the upper hand, but Devon and Dreamer come back and they grab chairs and chase Magnus and Bram off. So it looks like we're going to have a feud here with Devon and Dreamer taking on I'll get it out, Magnus and Bram. The explanation is why it's not Bully Ray teaming with Devon is that Bully Ray is recovering from all of his injuries. They had the hellacious title turn tournament for the TNA Tag Team titles between Team 3D, the Hardys, and the Wolves. So, the best of series, maybe not a tournament. But anyway, I think it's interesting. And, Bram's being pushed. He's an up-and-coming new talent. You can, he was with the WWE under NXT, but he's breaking out here, and I think they're doing a good job booking him. And it's nice to see this aggressive side to Magnus. So we're just going to have to wait and see where this goes, but I'm glad to see these two guys are getting pushed, and I'll just have to see what's going to go from here. But hey, Dreamer and Devon, that's going to be a unique, interesting team. If anybody knows hardcore, it's those two. So we're going to see how good Bram and Magnus really are. It's going to be an interesting ride. Yeah, Knockouts tag team match that saw the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, take on the team of Madison Rayne and Taryn Terrell. Before the match began in the locker room, Madison tried to suck up to Terry, apologizing for what happened a couple of weeks ago in that Number Contenders match, where Madison became the number one contender to Havoc's TNA Knockouts title. And Madison said, it was innocent that she pulled the tights, and you would have done the same thing to Terry. Terry says, let's just concentrate on this match tonight and get through it, and we'll deal with this later. Which Madison, says after she walks away is sooner than later. Okay, well, the match started off with Madison first, and she, works in the match, and she, takes on Angelina Love, but then tags in Taryn. Taryn comes in, and she does a great job in this match. She hit a double drop kick on both Velvet Sky and Angelina Love. A nice swinging net breaker. Also a nice flying cross body splash onto both Angelina Love and Velvet. Madison Rayne would not tag in several times in the match. At one point, she did throw Angelina Love back into the ring and then went around to chase Velvet out of the ring. But for the most part, she wouldn't tag in. Finally, when she did come into the match, she nails Angelina Love and Velvet. But before she turns around and nails Taryn Terrell, and then hits the raindrop on Taryn Terrell, leaving her laying in the ring, which allows the beautiful people who double cover Taryn for the 1-2-3, and they get the win. Now, with this being said, why are they turning Madison heel? That's my question. And let me research this because I like to have my facts straight. So bear with me while I'm checking this information out because I like to be on top of things. Okay, I'm looking, and this is according to Webpica, which is, you know, about 85% accurate. So, but needless to say, we have Angelina Love, Brittany, Brooke, Havoc, Madison Rayne, Rebel, Taryn Terrell, and Velvet Sky. According to Webpica, Gail Kim is no longer with TNA, although she is still on their main roster list on their website and on the Knockouts website. Okay, let's assume that it's correct and that Gail is gone. That leaves only 8 knockouts. Okay, Angelina Love's heel. Velvet Sky is heel. Havoc is a heel. So with that being said, you know, you got, and Brittany's a heel. Excuse me. We got Angelina Love as a heel. Velvet Sky is a heel. Havoc is a heel. Brittany is a heel. Now we're going to have Madison Rayne as a heel. That's 5 heels and only 3 faces. That's a big problem in my book. We need more knockouts. My understanding is TNA is not signing new deals until they get a TV deal in place, which I'm going to talk more about that at the end of the show. But they need to re-sign Gail Kim. That's the bottom line. Re-sign Gail Kim. Also, God say, Taryn Terrell, since coming back, she's been, you know, phenomenal. And my gosh, is she smoking hot? You know, these women wrestlers having babies, they're coming back and looking smoking hot. Go figure, you know. Look at Madison Rayne, had a baby, you know, took some time off, came back, you know, she's smoking hot. Same thing with Taryn Terrell. I can't wait to see if one of my favorites comes back to TNA, and I'm talking about the one and only, the great Mickie James. Wherever she winds up, whether it's back in TNA or in the WWE, can't wait to see her back in the ring. But nevertheless, we're going to see a feud between Taryn Terrell and Madison Rayne. So that's what we're going to be seeing. What's going to happen with the beautiful people? I look for the beautiful people to feud with Brooke when she comes back. So I'm assuming right now she can't be on TV because of the Amazing Race. That also explains why Robbie E is not on TV. But it's also been said that she's out with a torn ACL, which takes about 6 months to heal. Which, you know, depending on when she had the surgery, if it was, you know, late August, early September, you know, by the time they get the TV deal done and start doing TV tapings, she might be able to be back because by then the Amazing Race would be over. So anyway, good match. Check it out. You know, I liked it. We had the last match in the semifinals to determine the number 1 contenders to the TNA Tag Team titles. We had the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, taking on the team of EC3, Ethan Carter III, and Tyrus. And EC3 really showed a lot of good stuff. He's, you know, showed that he could take a lot of offense and dish it out. He took a hard side effect from from Matt Hardy in the middle of the match, but was able to kick out of the pinfall. Jeff Hardy hit a nice splash on EC3, but EC3 was able to kick out of that pin attempt, and he endured a lot of double team moves from the Hardys. It was just they worked on him very well. He was able to get the tag to Tyrus, who came in, and he just took control with his power and size. And they worked back and forth between Carter and Tyrus. Tyrus had a nice nerve hold on Matt Hardy, working him over. Carter got back in. He had he almost had a submission win with the sleeper hold, but Matt was able to power out. But Carter got back control of it. He went for charging for a corner move, but Matt got out of the way. He tags Jeff in, and Jeff starts working on Carter. They double team him, but it backfires when he finally is able to tag in Tyrus. Tyrus takes down the Hardys. He goes for a top rope splash, but the Hardys are able to get out of the way. It takes two twist of fates and a swanton bomb, but they put away Tyrus 1, 2, 3, and the Hardys are now going to the finals to take on the team of Samoa Joe and Low Ki. This was a shocker. I didn't expect the Hardys to win, because I kind of think, okay, they're going to go old school. Faces won the first semifinals match, so the heels are going to win this match, but that's not the case. And it was surprising. I like the team of Tyrus and EC3. Here's another tag team that could go on later on to become TNA Tag Team champions. It's going to be interesting to see where EC3 and Tyrus goes from here. Are they done feuding with Rockstar Spud and Eric Young? Don't know. We'll just have to wait and see where they're going to go from here. But I'm psyched for next week. Loki and Samoa Joe taking on the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. This is going to be freaking awesome. Now, I'm telling you, go back and watch this match. You got to. This is going to be worth watching. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed. But I just can't wait next week. I got to say it again. Samoa Joe, Loki taking on the Hardys, Matt and Jeff. This is going to be freaking awesome. You can't miss it next week. I'm telling you, you got to watch. We had the Cowboy, James Storm, come out with his entourage of his Revolution, Manic and the Great Sonata. And he talked about how he made them better and showed them their true potential and such. And then he calls out Davey Richards and tries to talk, his spiel about his Revolution, trying to get Davey Richards to join his Revolution. Eddie Edwards comes out and says, whoa, put on the brakes. He ain't joining you. He's not. We're tag team champions. This ain't going nowhere. Well, funny that Eddie Edwards, that Davey Richards never, disputes him. He takes the mic away from him and tells Eddie, I can speak for myself. Well, we wind up having a Prop 2 match between James Storm and Eddie Edwards. Sorry about that. We got an unsuspected guest here. We got someone who's being a bad boy. Say hi, Pinky. You can say hi real quick. Special guest. He's being bad. John Cena Mark, by the way. But that's a total different story. We'll talk. Anyway, since he made me lost my train of thought here, let me just back up here. It basically ended up Storm. It was it was a decent match. The concentration was more on Davey Richards, who was standing ringside. Manic approaches him at one point and tries to talk to Spiel to him. Eddie Edwards comes out and say, "Hey, back the hell away from him." But it just goes back and forth. Sonata at one point jumps up and tries to distract the referee, but it doesn't work out. They brawl some more and such, but the distraction for Eddie Edwards gets to him. Storm hits the super kick and is able to put him down for the win. And And Davey Richards just sits there with a glazed look on his face while Storm and his entourage leave up the ramp, watching the events as Eddie's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Is it a good idea to split the Wolves up? That's $1 million question. Honestly, right now, I don't think it's a good idea because you need tag teams. Right now, they're rebuilding the tag team division, and the Wolves is right there at, the centerpiece. And I think it is too soon to break those two up. But, they're giving the hints that's what they're going to do. Again, I don't think it's a good idea, but it's interesting what they're doing. James Storm, since he's turned heel, he has really took this concept and he's ran with it. And he's the leader of a stable. And a lot of people would have never thunk it that James Storm would be the leader of a stable. But it is the case, and it's very interesting. And I think it's been well done. It's one of the things that TNA has done right. So I can't wait. Watch more of it. It's going to be interesting to see. So, you don't need to check this match out. I pretty much, gave you a basic laydown of what's going on. So, but still, overall, interesting segment. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen next week between Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. At the main event, Bobby Roode challenging Bobby Lashley for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship with Kurt Angle as the special guest referee. Oh my gosh, what a great match. Lashley on the offense, he goes right after Roode. He works him over. Roode sells the back injury really good. At one point, Lashley tries for a power bomb, but Roode slips out. So then Lashley goes for a clothesline. He takes out Kurt Angle. Okay, so they keep going more and more. Finally, Lashley hits the spear on Roode. We have a referee come down, or actually Angle crawls back in to make the count, but Roode gets his shoulder up. So, and the match keeps going, and Lashley tries for a second spear, but Roode steps out of the way, and Lashley nails Angle. So Angle takes a second bump in this match. So we have more going around. Lashley hit excuse me, there was so much action going on. Roode gains the advantage. He hits a nice enziguri, and then dumps him to the outside of the ring. Lashley tries to hit another spear, but he takes out stagehand again. This was a brutal spear. I felt sorry for the poor guy. To be, I don't know if it was, just pure luck, or if he was supposed to take that spot, but man, it looked devastating. It was really kind of a cool spot. Bobby Roode lands the Roode bomb on Lashley on the outside of the ring. He gets him back in the ring, goes for the cover. Brian Hefner runs out to make the count as Kurt Angle is still down. Lashley kicks out. And Roode's frustrated as Lashley grabs out, grabs the title belt. He's going to brings it back in the ring, trying to nail Roode, but the referee won't let him use it, saying, "Hey, I'll DQ you." So how does Lashley respond? He clotheslines Hebner, taking Hebner out. Okay, and he clocks Roode with the title. Angle slides back in, tries to make the count, but Roode gets his shoulder up at the last second. This pisses off Lashley. Lashley is pissed, and he chastises Angle for the slow count and such. The fans are chanting, "This is awesome." So this is good. Roode struggles to get back to his feet, and he tries to set up, and Lashley tries to set up a slam. Roode slips out. He teases a Roode bomb, but Lashley escapes, climbs to the ropes, but Roode grabs him and tries again for the bomb. Lashley tries to counter, with the tries to counter it, but Roode decides to sits down and holds the legs down to get a nice 1, 2, 3, and Roode is the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I said it was going to happen. I said that Roode was going to win the title, and it happened. Of course, this match was pre-taped several, way back in, I believe in September, if not August. I'm not sure about the exact dates, but the bottom line is this. I believe it was September, in the month of September. But the bottom line is this. I said it months before that Roode was going to be the one to defeat Lashley for the title, and it happened. This is awesome for Roode. Roode is one of the backbones of the company, and he deserves to be World Heavyweight Champion. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this. I'm hoping that we might see a feud between, I'd love to see another feud between Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, or Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe. I mean, there's our Bobby Roode and the Cowboy James Storm. There's so many combinations out there, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen and what's going to be done. Definitely, this is the match at night. This is the match you need to check out. If you're not going to watch any other match from this past week's Impact Wrestling, this is the match you need to watch. Congrats to Bobby Roode, the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, guys, great Impact Wrestling. So much going on. We had two phenomenal semi-finals matches in the number one contendership for the TNA Tag Team titles tournament. I was impressed with the chemistry of Samoa Joe and Low Ki as a tag team. The Hardys were phenomenal. Both great matches. Check them out. I'm finding it interesting, the heel turn of Madison Rayne, and it's going to be feuding with Taryn Terrell. Where does beautiful people go? That's going to be interesting to see. Bram and Magnus, I love what they're doing with them, and they're going to be feuding with Devon and Tommy Dreamer. It's going to be good. James Storm's Revolution. It's interesting. It's got your attention, and it's intriguing, and I can't wait to see where that's going to go. Also, are the Wolves going to split? That's the million-dollar question right now. That's going to keep you watching for sure. Bobby Roode, the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. What more can you say? It's freaking awesome. Definitely we're going to see a rematch for the title between these two, but it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. I can't wait, but Bobby Roode's your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Also, they teased about the Shark Boy. They showed a segment of him being out of shape and bloated, and someone asked him, what happened to him? Can you be the old Shark Boy? And he's like, oh, hell yeah. I don't know what we're going to do, what's going to happen with that. Otherwise, it was a phenomenal Impact Wrestling. Can't wait to see next week's show, and definitely going to be good. Also, we're talking about Gail Kim. She appears to no longer be with TNA. As I said earlier in the show, that TNA is not signing new deals, deals, as they're waiting to see what they're not signing any new ones until they get their TV deals squared away. This has caused Bully Ray not to re-sign. I think that's a big loss. Also, losing Gail Kim, I think that's a big loss to the Knockouts division. Hopefully they'll get this TV deal resolved and get these two back in TNA. By the way, speaking about TV deal, supposedly a big announcement on a TV deal is supposed to be announced tomorrow. This is being recorded Thursday, so by the time this gets posted, that announcement should already be made. So you definitely want to check that out. I'm hoping that they're going to a network that's more readily available on my cable system than Discovery Velocity. So hopefully that's going to happen. WGA America, I'd be all for that. I'm hoping that TNA does get this deal squared away, can get back on the road, doing tours, getting back into the cities. I'm telling you, if you've never been to a TNA house show, it is freaking phenomenal. It's freaking awesome. Matter of fact, I was posting pictures of work various stars I've met at TNA house shows. It's awesome. So definitely, once they get back on the road, you got to check out TNA house show. Also, another tidbit of news. It looks like Kurt Angle is going to re-sign with TNA, part-time deal. And don't be surprised if Kurt Angle finishes up his career in TNA. I know a lot of people want to rather see him do it in WWE. I'd love to see him have one more run in WWE, but it's not going to happen. They offered him a full-time deal, but come on, they knew that Kurt Angle wasn't going to accept that, and they knew he wasn't, didn't want to put his body through that kind of rigorous, mundane. And I think they did that on purpose because they really didn't want to bring him back. So, whatever. It's WWE's loss, in my opinion. Okay, guys, that's it for this week's edition of Impact Wrestling. Making an Impact, YouTube show. I've been your host, Simply Sensational Billy James. Hey, every Tuesday, don't forget to check out on the Nerdport Network, The Wrestling Debate. I'm telling you, it's awesome. Matter of fact, me and Ronnie were debating back and forth over the Bella twins. So you got to check it out. You never know what's going to happen. So check it out, guys. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Making an Impact. Like I said, I've been your host, Simply Sensational Billy James. And come back and check me out next week, guys. And you all stay classy out there, okay? Oh, by the way, Team Bro, all the way, Amazing Race, Brooke and Robbie. Root for him. I am. I'm telling you. And the damn Dennis, I hope they get eliminated just like Mike TNA says. I don't like him. All right, guys. We'll catch you back next week.